was there, but the ratio
Recording is on.
was less. Now the ratio has been deprivability coming from like 60 to 70%. We are getting the transparency issue. Okay, so some of the business challenges are like we do not have any consolidated reports. People are distracted. We are not able to monitor them. Why they are so distracted? What exactly they are being during the work course? Okay, then where they are engaged on, and due to all this stuff we are not able to get on the deliveries timely, and the operational cost has been increasing with the very lower profits. So these are some common business challenges which we are able to find out, and it is coming from the research which we have done previously with like 5,000 contacts. To get on to these challenges, to overcome the challenges, we need some solutions, some IT solutions where we can understand what exactly the team is on, what activities they are doing entire day. Okay, so for their we can get on to their engagement or their distractions, whatever the issues they are facing. It could be skill gaps, distractions, or the transparency visibility issue was there. So that can be overcome with the solution we are presenting today. Okay, Dextract is a solution, and it is like popularly known as advanced analytics for confident decisions. So we can make the real-time actions and the decisions on the basis of the data which has been tracked, or you can say which has been collected. So we some algorithms can be built up on the data which has been collected and to get onto these actions. Currently, like the complete, you can say the complete goal of the solution is to stay at the top of your business by optimizing time and productivity. Okay, currently like it has been recognized by 50K users. Okay, and the software discovery portals has been rewarded on the quality, on the requirement, the best meet requirement. So these are the and the best value, some of the rewards which has been got the extract in the last 3 years by the top quality software discovery platforms. And the clients like Honda Two Wheelers India, Trucker, Titan Pharma, Shaw Academy has been onboarded as a with Dextract from the last 2 years. Okay, so various clients are there from various different industries. On the basis of the use cases, the solution could be customized as per the requirement or the challenges you are facing. So this solution is like basically where people are sitting remotely or people are sitting on site the office everywhere whenever we are using computer or they are the field teams, the solution could help because we have got the applications ready for mobile and desktops both. And in the desktops we have got covered like Linux, Windows, and Mac. All of the three platforms has been covered. Now, like I'm quickly taking towards like which industries or where we can focus. So as I mentioned, like major industries which we have got request is like the hybrid space where the people are distributed, and then software and IT, automobiles, architects. So these are some major use cases where the solution has been recognized and it has been used by the customers. E-commerce is also one of the major area where people are using the solution for their best customer support and the sales monitoring. Now, I'm quickly taking you towards what solutions we are providing to get everything on place, okay, and to overcome all the business challenges. So first is like employee monitoring is the one of the solution where like whatever the activities they're performing, it could be tracked. Okay, so employee monitoring is one of the major solution that has to be taken care. Then we have got activity logger, where activity logger is simply where or which type of activity they are spending, they are doing the entire day, then how they're utilizing the work time. So that has been covered with the work time tracking solution. Then which projects and tasks they are working over, so they can manually go and define that I am working on XYZ project and for how long I got to that project. So that could be easily specified. Then we have got productivity tracker. So on that basis, whatever the data has been collected, we have to set some algorithms. Algorithm means like some settings configurations has to be taken care. On that basis, the productivity evaluation could be done. So these are some like why only Dextrack, or you can say like why the need of the solution is. So first of all, It will give you 100% work time analytics, where we can understand how this work time is utilized, whether the person is like investing the time in the right direction, or he's spending time somewhere where he's stuck. So skill gap analysis could be taken care. So all of this is a part of like how the work time analytics is can be done. And it's like 30 60 90 plan, where like you implement the solution, it takes 30 days of time, and within 60 days you will start observing the improvements. In 90 days, something where you will get a drastic change in the team's availability, the productivity, and all over the challenges which you are facing. Okay, 2x times we can help in allocating the manpower. Okay, so that is something, if the person is over or underutilized, we can see on the basis of the activities he's performing, the time he's giving at work, we can like design a workflow and plan the team accordingly. Now, like I'll be quickly taking towards the Dextract web console, where like all the reportings could be easily managed. So before getting into it, as I mentioned the solutions, I would like to speak something about Dextract and like how this work in the organization, and for which role it is like helping out. So it's a cloud-based, SaaS-based solution, where the agent has to be deployed on the employee machines. Once the agent has been deployed on the employee machines, it starts collecting the data automatically without any user intervention. You will get the complete data of your team. And to manage the privacy part, you can enable some configuration, some settings are there where you can enable them to give an option to stop the application, to pause the application, so they can take their private time and refresh themselves. So it is a part of plan where you can manage that, and they can easily get a refreshment to take the breaks and do something whatever they want to do. So that is we can flexibility, like we are keeping some like tracking is there, so employees get sometimes it happens like employees got you can say they are not in favor of the solution. So just by giving them some flexibility, they can understand the utility, and we can enable this thing so that they can accept the solution. So acceptability, or you can say adaptability, is required. Okay, then we have got the complete n level organization hierarchy, where you can manage the organization hierarchy so that respective reporting managers can see their team reports from their respective web logins. Okay, so this kind of logins could be available to the reporting managers and the location heads, or whatever the hierarchy you have in your business, and according to that they can access the reportings of their team members. The admin console have the right to whom the reporting managers and all the configurations, and what as per the rules what section has to be utilized by which team member. Okay, so they can easily manage that. So all the settings and the configurations part could be done from the admin. And when we talk about the account configuration and installation, so Dextract is providing you the remote installations, where if you are using any third party app, or is a central directory is there where you from where you want to push that application, Dextract can help you so that quickly you can do installation to all of your team members. But for that, any central network is required. Then we have got Active Directory integration, so that automatically whenever the user is getting into the machine, the data will start tracking without any manual logins, because when the agent is installed or deployed to the user machine, there is a login has to be done to understand which user is logged in. But with the Active Directory integration, automatically it extracts identify the user, which user is getting logged in, and start tracking the data accordingly. So as per the logon from which the user is accessing the machine, it starts tracking the data. Now, like when I'm talking about tracking the data and all that, so what exactly we are on here? Okay, so firstly we have got attendance, where like whenever the person is starting the day, automatically the application starts working, starts tracking the data, the time. Okay, so no intervention, nothing is to be required, only the application has to be enabled and it has to be logged in into the machine. Once it is done, you will get into their attendance. Okay, so you can see their first time and the last activity, which is come as like when the person starts the day and when the person ends the day. Okay, so here if their login has been there, so they are automatically into the attendance. And if the data is not found for that particular day, we have got the absence reports, where you can understand the person who are not available at work for how many days and what. So you can easily go with attendance monitoring with the presence and absence records. Okay, Then like work time utilization. So during this work hour, how much time the person is available at work and how much time he was away from the work. So you can see desktop time is 7 hours 53 minutes. So he, that means he, Ajay user, was continuously working over the machine. He was doing some actions from the machine to get on to the things, okay? And ideal as 1 or 5:55 minutes. So he is not doing any actions. The system might move into the sleep mode, or he has shut down the system, or he has locked down the system, whatever it is. Whenever the user is not doing any activity, automatically the time starts tracking into idle hours. The buffer time for this, or you can say the minimum configuration, has been done 5 minutes by default, but it could be changed for Windows users, where you can enable this idle hours as per the requirement, as per the business needs. And once it is enabled, the idle time tracking starts into that configuration, or you can say the time limit which you have mentioned. So it is giving you like work time utilization for how long the user was actively working or the user is away from the work. And this total time is the total login hours the user is on the work, whether it's performing some actions or not, that is not part of it. But yes, desktop and idle time, when it comes, it gives you the total time. Any confusions so far in this automated timesheets, or you can say attendance analysis? So I assume we are through till here. Now, then advanced analytics, how it is done. I'll get into that part. On the attendance part only first. So we have got the status configuration for login and logout when the person is getting early login or early logouts. Okay, so you can easily manage the punctuality of the individual with the portal, where like there's a benchmark like 30 minutes late could be considered, 40 minutes late could be considered from the login time, from the shift time they mentioned. If as per the benchmark they are logging into the machine, they will be considered as on time login. If someone is making the login late, he will marked as late login, like here. Okay. Similarly, during the logout time, the benchmarks could be set, and accordingly, if someone is logging into the benchmark, it will be considered as on-time logout. Elsewhere, if he is making the logout early or late, he will be marked as late logout. So you can easily understand what exactly the punctuality or the work pattern of individuals, and like for how many late comes, how many late logouts are there for the entire day. So that can be easily evaluated with this report. Then, on the basis of work time, that is desktop time, we are able to status the working status of the individual, whether he has worked for half day or full day, whatever the shift, as per the shift time, this could be managed. So, for half day shifts, like for example, here we have considered 4 hours as a half day. So, if the someone is spending 4 hours, okay, and above that there is a limit for full day also. So, in between that, if he is spending the time, it will be considered as half day, 4 hours and above. If he is spending 8 hours and above, then he will be considered as full day. Okay. And if someone is spending like lesser than 4 hours, then it will be marked as incomplete shift. Now, like admins want, they can change the configuration. Like if it is a half day, they can make it incomplete shift full day as per the like you can say availability of the individual. Sometimes might be they are not on the work, they have gone for some meetings or something like that. They can easily mark that full day and half day. So you can get a concrete work status from the system. So it is into the power. This power has been given to the admins. They can manage this as per the employees. So this timesheets could be utilized by the HR managers in the company to get on to the team's punctuality, their attendance, and automated timesheets. Once we have got these records, this could be integrated with your existing payroll system or any of the HRMS system which you're using, so that you can run your payroll and your HRMS management easily on that records. Then, like you have got monthly analysis also, like for how long the user was working available, okay, on the basis of the actual work time, sorry, actual present days and the working days, you will get the availability of the individual, and for how long he was working, how long he was idle, everything, every logs you can easily get into it. It's a consolidated timesheet for a month or a period of days which you are want to get in. These reports could be easily exported in the CSV for further actions, and you can easily choose which column you want into the report, the exported report. You can customize your report as per the business needs. Then, like we have to understand what what exactly the activities has been done throughout the day, you can simply click on any of the username to get onto this activities, and you will get a kind of dashboard where you can see what is the actual working time, logout time, every logs can be visualized on that working hours, which top applications he has used or as per the time they have consumed. Okay, then they there it has been classified as productive, that I'll explain what exactly it is. So you're able to get applications and websites they are working over. You can see when you go into the browser based application, you get into the detail of the websites, which websites has been logged in and how much time they consume on these websites. And if it is a file based application, then you will get the file name. Like if the proper file name is not mentioned, it will give as an untitled. Okay, so you are able to easily find out which files has been opened, which websites has been opened, which apps has been opened. To consider it or to identify, are they working as per the skills they are aligned for, the tasks they have been assigned for, and they are working as per the roles and responsibility or not. So all these configurations can be with this application, or you can say activity logger. You can easily find out where are the person and what are the gaps or how efficient they are. Then to get into the productivity, you have to classify the application as whitelist and blacklist, where whenever the time is spent on any of the whitelisted application or websites, the time will be tracked into productive hours. If the time is spent on the application or websites which are not considered as whitelisted, then the time will be tracking into unproductive time. Again, this productive and unproductive is a part of working time only, desktop time. It has no relations with your ideal time. So you can see here these applications are not marked as whitelisted. So by default, it is coming as unproductive and it is tracked into idle hours instead of unproductive hours. Because whenever the person is working, the productivity is considered on that time only. Now, once these applications and websites are classified as whitelisted and blacklisted, you are able to get the productive time and unproductive hours. On the basis of this productive time, you are able to find out the productivity percentage of the individual for that day. So the productivity percentage is actual productive time of the day versus expected productive time for the day. So there is an expectation of each business, like what exactly they're expecting. So we have here like 8 hours, 30 minutes, or 8 hours, 40 minutes, or you can say 9 hours has to be person has to be productively doing some activities. So that benchmarks could be set, and accordingly the productivity percentage will be like calculated on the basis of actual as well as expected productive time. So this was on about the productivity classification. Now, like if I am on the work and I went into some meeting, certain meetings are there, so I can easily convert that time into which meeting I was. It's an internal meeting in the middle. I can identify the reason and with whom I was on, like in discussion. So let's say roadmap building. So I'll plan it here, roadmap building. Okay. Now I can mention for how long I was into that call. So once I convert this time, my time will be like simply get into my productive hours. Okay, I'm sorry. So now you will find the ideal time will be deducted by 25 minutes. It is there. So people who are away from the work for any reason, okay, they can simply get onto this ideal time converter and can put their meeting times into that and specify the reason why that meeting was, which type of meeting and the meeting reason. So once it is done, automatically it will get converted to their productive nature, the productive time. Okay. Now, like once we are through, we understand what applications and activities and websites they're working over. We need to understand which type of applications and websites they're working. Like they're spending more time on browsing, they're spending more time on entertainment sites or meetings, whatever it is. Okay, so we can classify the application as per the application usage. Okay, or you can say the application nature. So you can put the categories and map the applications or website into those categories. Once it is done, out of the working time, how much time the person was into that uh, or like how much time they were engaged on that particular kind of category, we can easily get into this, just to understand where the person like spending the time for the entire day. So like for me, I spend 40 minutes in the communication, and then you can see here browser 1 hours, 12 minutes. So and meeting I spend 2 hours. So these kind of we can easily take up the the benchmarks could be set like yes, meeting us is 2 hours minutes, so it is okay for marketing people or like management. But for the executive level of people, we cannot spend these long hours on the meeting, or we can get into complete organization data also for the entire month to identify where or on which part of business the most of the time work time has been utilized. Okay, so you can see here the most of the time have been spent on browsing. Then we have got development. So as per the application nature and the business needs, you can easily configure that and identify which category of the people, which category the people are consuming the time. Okay, if you wanted to get into detail of any user or complete entirely, that also can be done. So you can identify the categories as per the application they are spending most of the time. So this was on activity logger. We are able to set the productivity, and the application classification or the engagement of the teams can be easily streamlined, and we can understand where they are spending most of the time. Are they utilizing the time properly or not? Or what measures can be taken to get on to their like 100% work time utilization. And it has been found like people after implementing Dextract, they're able to utilize 80 to 85% of their time, which is earlier it was only 50 to 60. Then to get on to this, like you can say more of the data privacy, there is no data theft or insider data to prevent insider data thefts. You can easily monitor that with screenshot monitoring. So once like any default settings has to put, and you will get the screenshots timely for that person, which can be later identify whether the person was actually working or he's simply clicking on the mouse and on any one websites or any application or whatever the file he has opened. You can easily get onto this records here. So by default, the screenshots have been taken every 5 minutes, but yes, again it can be changed as per the business needs. So the default and the minimum time frame is 5 minutes. Any confusions, any queries so far? Because I have done with my automated desktop activity logger and time tracker. I'll moving to the other parts now.
Any questions here related to the presentation so far? You can ask. I have a couple of questions. Otherwise, I can definitely ask. But I'll request audience to kindly ask any questions there. You can unmute and speak. It is in. That's it. In case you are not putting up in chat, you can unmute and speak. Okay, I have a couple of questions, Juhi, if I can ask.
Sure, sure, definitely.
So I think you spoke about application white labeling or black labeling,
Right.
and so if there is a, let's say, an in-house application wherein we want to add that application, it can be added.
Yeah, definitely. So whenever you're performing any activity over your computers, okay, and the agent is installed to the machine, automatically it will start tracking each and every activity. So if it is in-house application, then also it can be tracked.
Okay, and mostly, organizations have either it is a team-wise, performance monitoring, or it could be a function-wise. So, is there any possibility here to, demark teams and then monitor team productivity?
Yeah, Definitely, we do have that. So, as I mentioned, like as you can manage a reporting manager, so same time you can manage department and teams also. You can map the person that this X person is belonging to which department or which team, and accordingly the productivity can be easily monitored. Okay, so I'm just taking you to the user list section and putting myself into here. So here you can see like to whom I'm reporting in one go. Okay, and who all are my team member who are reporting to me, so that also we can get into it, or mapping can be done. Similarly, which part of the team I belongs to. So we here with dollar we are marking the team, and with hashtag we are marking the department. Now to get into the reports which team is performing well, we have got this competitive analytics. Let me pull data for last 30 days. So you can see company average time, like average hours people are working is 7 hours, and average idle time is 2 hours 15 minutes of all of the individuals, and on the basis of team also that could be easily classified here. Average productivity for last 30 days or whatever the time frame we have set. If you
Okay.
click
Does it? Okay.
Mhm. If you click to any of the team member, any of the team, okay, or sorry department, you will get a drill down report of that entire team.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay. Does it also cover, some messenger applications like nowadays you have WhatsApp on desktop and other messenger applications, social media applications? Does it monitor that as well?
Yeah, it will be monitoring everything. So let me show you my data. I've been spending time on my WhatsApp. Hold- There you go. So Microsoft Teams, WhatsApp, any applications which you're using, we will track here.
And so any application which is not white labeled, that also will be reflecting in what you have used, right?
Yeah, it will be reflecting in what has been done, but the time will track to unproductive only because it has been not marked as a productive.
All right. And this application is browser based only, or it is app based as well?
It is app based only.
That is browser based only.
The agent which you are installing, it is desktop based, app based only.
Right.
Browser you can evaluate the team reports from your respective logins.
Yeah, but what I mean to say is that it can be done only on desktop, not on mobiles, right?
No, we have a mobile tracker as well.
And that syncs with this, or that is a separate module.
No, it will be a separate module, but reports could be published here. Like as you are getting onto my report, you can see here mobile and choose which mobile report you want to see. So I've been logged in with different mobile phones. That is a problem here. So such kind of reports, similarly, reports can be there for mobile users as well. Which
And this
app?
report will be of the same uses, right? I mean, whatever desktop uses that you've been doing, the report would be available on mobile.
Yeah,
So it will sync with this app, right?
yeah.
Okay. So I'm done with my questions. You can proceed.
Sure. Thank you so much, Kalashi, for getting into it. Anyone have any other question or they have dropped into chat? Let me quickly have a look into it.
There is a question from Mr. Kamlesh. Could you just check
Okay.
in the chat box and answer?
Yeah, he's asking what if the WhatsApp is used in the browser and not in the app? Then also you can easily identify. Let's see if someone has used that. So as I mentioned, like we're able to track each and every websites into here. So you will get the logs here into web WhatsApp. Okay. So every website which is opening, it will be logged here. Now, any other questions? I think Kamlesh has willing to speak something. Uh,
You can unmute and speak. So, Kamlesh, would you like to speak? Then you can unmute.
okay.
Okay, you may proceed, please, Julie.
Yeah. So, I was just talking about the mobile app only, which he is asked for. So we can get like we have got mobile app for three purposes. One is like the time use utilized on mobiles, how much time the person has invested on mobile, and what activities during the work hours. Okay, so if the company own mobile is there, or you want to put into the mobile phone during the work hours, it is possible. First thing. Secondly, you will able to get what apps he has been spending time during the entire day. Similarly, for mobile also, you can categorize the applications productive and unproductive and get onto their productivity for the mobile phones. Then another thing we have is call log management, where you can get it is like enable and disable feature. You can configure as per your needs. You will get into it like how many calls has been done by the person for an entire day, and for like what was the total number of outgoing calls, and like how much hours he spent on the mobile phones over the calling, and to whom he has called, number, everything can be logged. So that is a call log tracker for Android devices. Again, by default, it is disabled. If you want, then only we can enable it. Then the another report we have is of location tracker. Let me pull some data if I am able to bring it up, because we are not using this module. Okay, so we have got some data. So it's a testing data again, and here we are able to find out on which location the person has been, and where he has been spent all at the entire day, and for how long he was onto that particular location. Every point when he is going and on, you can easily get onto him. Okay, you can easily manage the location tracking. The report is available for the export for which addresses, which areas a person has been went.
So, there is a question there. What if someone disables the app for a few hours and then turns it back on?
So during that time, the data will not be recorded.
Yeah, but what will be the reflection there? Will it be a non-productive time, or how it will be monitored?
So like the person is, see, for mobile applications there is no ideal time tracking. Okay, so if he is not performing, he is not using the mobile, it will not track any of the time. Okay, you can see when I'm just like here, I'll show you. So there you go. So I've been using for 29 minutes only for my phone, and rest of the time I'm not using it. So my ideal time will not be tracked. Productive and unproductive, again, it is a part of the working time. So if I'm using any kind of unproductive activity, I'm performing that, then it will be tracked into unproductive time. So the answer to the question is, if you're not doing any activity with your phone and if you are simply idle, it will not track anything.
But what about desktop? Supposing he switches off the application on desktop.
In case if he switches off the application, first of all, the this is not available, the rights is not available with the user. Okay, you can enable and disable the rights. For once you have enabled this logout option, then only the user will get the option to log out the application. Okay, so by default it is disabled for everyone. And in case if you log out the application for an hour and come back again at 2 p.m. for 12, he make it log out for 2 hours. The application was stopped. The time will automatically get into idle hours because he has stopped the application, and we need to identify where the 2 hours has been gone. So the application will be the data will be coming as TNT application was closed for 2 hours. Similarly, you can enable this private time where they can pause this application. Like I make this application pause, my tracking will be stopped. And if I want to come back again, like for after 10 minutes or like performing my personal stuff, which I want to do with the machine, I want to come back and start my tracking, I can resume and my tracking will be started back.
So this pause time will be called as unproductive or still productive.
It will be on idle.
Okay. So
It
idle
will
means
be.
it will be unproductive.
No, no, no. As I mentioned, unproductive and productive is coming from the working time.
Mhm.
It has no relations with your ideal hours. Ideal time simply you're not away, you are away from your machine, you are away from the work.
So that means that will be officially not counted in the working hours.
Yeah,
So if you are performing, let's say, for a 9 hour duty, and if you are taking out 1 hour as personal time, it's still your 8 hour duty will be counted.
yeah, yeah. That is your you were not available for the work. Your availability is affected in that case.
And if it is, let's say, 8 hour working, but 1 hour you have gone out for your personal working, then it will be a 7 hour working only will be counted for you.
Yeah,
So in a way, it is a basically an idle time only, no?
yeah. It's an ideal time. So see, if you're not performing anything, it will be coming into the ideal hours.
Mhm.
So this was all about the desktop tracking. Okay, and then we have got mobile applications also for to view the team's reports. So managers and the admins can log into their mobile phones and get onto the team reports from there.
So before that, there is a question again, which you can just go through the chat and take care.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so Mr. Sharath is asking whatever, like if someone is disabled the app for a few hours and then turns back, so it will track into idle hours or get the away time because he is not performing any actions over the machine. Okay, and yeah, however, I can add activity to change the ideal time. Yes, you can convert the ideal time to the productivity hours if you were for the office time, like you were giving some activity time for the meeting and you were away from the machine. Again, this feature is not available by to everyone. You can like configure the settings, ideal time conversion. And very soon we are bringing one more type of idle time conversion where they will be able to put their break time, tea breaks, coffee break, lunch break, or any kind of personal break he has taken. That also it can be managed, and it will be considered to their idle time. It will not add to the productivity, and you will get a complete report for the meeting time analysis here. The user will be able to manage everything in this meeting report, like what meeting was, the description. Now at present it is for meeting only. Now the complete custom the fields and everything will be changed, and it will be like totally why the user was idle. You can get their idle time analysis from here, whether it is a break time, so that we can evaluate how long the person is spending time for the breaks. Any other questions, please? Okay, so there are a couple of reports which I would like to showcase, and I'm onto that. And after that, from my side, the session will be over. Okay, so there is one report is activity logger where you can easily find out what activities has been performed by the user in an entire day, what apps, websites, files, everything you can get into one sheet, so that you can identify what kind of activities he is on, whether he's distracted from the actual work he's been assigned for. Everyone has got a plan, and according to that plan, the reviewing can be done. Then you have got the application logs, like which type of application the person is doing. Okay, you can get into segregation is productive, unproductive, and everything you can easily manage. And like I put my data for last 30 days here. So it is a summary view where I'm getting the details on the daily basis. Oh, sorry, it is a detailed view. When I click on summary, you will get a complete usage on the application, what type of apps have been used, how frequently those apps have been used. Like Spotify has been used 3 times, okay, and Zoom.us has been used 15 times. So this is simply like the total hours and the frequency of the application you can easily justify. Okay, secondly, this data could be used for your SaaS based expense management, where we are like there are some cases which has been observed. People are spending time on Zoom, Microsoft Teams, and other meeting applications, and company is giving the licensing for all of the application, because now everything is SaaS based. Okay, everything is on the cloud, and the subscription has to be given. So similar type of nature of application, 4 application, 5 application has been used in the organization by different team members. So that could be easily optimized with, and we can follow one path. With like, yes, the time has to be spent, or like we have to get on to the Zoom only, not Microsoft Teams or any other application as per the business needs. So that could be easily managed with the SaaS based expenses. Second is like we used to get we used to enable tools for our teams, as many as tools, so that they can easily work, they can properly work on the for their task that has been assigned. But it has been found they're not using such tools, and we are investing on the subscription side, so it is like waste of money which we are doing. So that could be controlled with this application usage also, where you can control the time they are spending on those applications. So these are two major use cases on the application monitoring. Apart from like day to day what activities they're performing, productive, unproductive, you can easily manage the SaaS based expenses as well. Then there is one more use case for this application where I talk about the categorization, where we can identify the how long they spend on meetings, the communication, and all that. So once you categorize the application as per the functional nature, you can easily identify which type of apps have been used. First thing, that how long they were actively on that particular application, and which person is being engaged on that. So this is the second use case, which where the application and the website monitoring you can easily get access to. SaaS based management and the team engagement. And the third is the productivity and unproductive insights, which we have already discussed. So I am like I'm done with the session. If there is anything you would like to ask, I am ready for the questions.
So this is cloud-based application completely, or it is on-prem also?
It's a cloud-based solutions primarily, but yes, if you require any kind like hybrid on-premise is possible, but there are some parameters which has to be taken care, and on that basis we can make it up.
So in that case, the storage which is used is if it is a cloud application, then it will be on your cloud. So is there any limitation of that storage space as it is asked by Mr. Sharat?
Okay, so we do not have any kind of storage space. Okay, what is the limitation on the storage space is not there, but we are limiting the data storage for, let's say, 30 days, 90 days. So on the basis of data type, it has the storage limit is there. But like you can store 5 GB of data, 10 GB of data on that size, there is no limitation. Okay, so by default, we're keeping the data for the 3 months. And the attendance and timesheet, the summarized reports can be taken care for 6 months and so. So if you need to customize on this storage part, like you want the data existence on the portal for 3 months, 6 months, or a year, we can easily make it up on the special request.
Is there any archive possible where it can be backed up offline and then can be used later on? Is that possible?
Yeah, archives are maintained by Dextrack. We are maintaining those archives, but it is not accessible to the end users. On request basis, we can enable the data. But these things has to be like we have to when we're configuring the account, we have to take in care what data the person may require after 3 months or 6 months. The timelines has to be easy managed on that basis. The data could be available. So on request basis, everything is managed.
So there are a couple of questions in chat box. You may please take up.
Yeah. So Mr. Sharad is asking what would be the space required on a laptop to store a month's data. So Sharad, here we are not storing, we are not taking, the application will not occupy a large amount of storage. It is coming into like MBs only, first thing. Secondly, periodically, whatever the data has been stored in the offline mode into the machines will be removed. So by default, only 30 days data can be stored onto the machines of the employees. There are algorithms which will keep on removing the data which has been stored. Now, live monitoring with the screenshots, we can make it up. Like you can keep the screenshots every 5 minutes, it will be recorded and it will give. But like just like any desk and other access, you could want similar access, that is not possible. Okay, what in the case of user not having internet on the system? So the application will keep performing, but syncing of data will not happen. It will sync back whenever the internet is connected. So application works well in the offline mode. That's why the data we have to store to the employee machines for last 30 days, as I mentioned earlier. So it works well in the offline.
So that means even in case of internet not there and a person working offline will not suffer on his productivity time
Right. It will not suffer.
if he has worked.
Yeah.
Now, coming to one more question, which is could be relevant to people here, is that you mentioned that you support Linux as well.
Mm-hmm.
So in Linux, I mean, how do you think are the limitations? Are there any limitations, or it works the same way as it works in Windows?
There as of now there is no limitations has been found. Only the configuration side the limitation is there, because the Linux is like open source application and it is not the files which the application are not easily executable. So there are some command lines has to be put on for the installation. Rest everything works in the same direction as you are working for Windows and Mac.
And many people are using Mac OS as well nowadays. So is that compatible to Mac OS as well?
Yeah, yeah. The application is compatible to the Mac only where the configurations has to be done, because Mac doesn't allow anything to be tracked or monitored outside the like the user's privacy. So the user has to enable, yes, this application could control my machine first thing, and which applications can control that, that can easily manage.
Yes, Mr. Kamal, you can unmute and speak. Mr. Kamal wants to speak. You can unmute and speak, please.
जूही
Yes, sir.
एम्प्लॉय का जो मोबाइल ट्रैकिंग का वो एनेबल आपने बता दिया
Yeah, I have done with that.
ओके
Hello.
Yeah. Any other questions?
So I request anybody in audience to, if they have any questions, please unmute your mic and can ask. Mr. Kishan has a question, Jui.
Yeah. So he's asking every time we need to check that which user details is working or not. Is there any alert email? Yeah, Mr. Kishan, on every day we are sending an email report. Okay, I'll show. So where like the people who has been logged into the machines, their attendance has been recorded, the data will be published. So and then we can you can also get onto the absence employees, those who report has not been put onto it. So you can easily get to know which person data is not coming, and further actions can be taken care. So every day the email has been shoot to the respective managers or the admins which has been enabled for the email reporting. So there is a complete settings available where you can manage that. So you can manage to whom the emails or the reports has to be sent.
Any more questions, please? Because I think the demo was quite comprehensive, and you may have a lot of doubts. It is a productivity tool. I mean, in terms of not only attendance but the employee productivity as well. And this is the requirement these days for hybrid working when you are remotely monitoring the employees, and even employees can self monitor as well, because this gives their entire productivity to the day. So even self improvement is an integral part of this application. It need not be monitored by an admin. One can always look at their dashboard and see their own productivity. Am I right, Juhi?
Yeah, right. Definitely.
So it gives you knowingly or unknowingly, we do look through various applications while working on desktop, and with that we actually do not know how much productive time you've lost. And so if, let's say, your monthly or daily or weekly or monthly achievements are lacking, you can get onto yourself improvement to enhance your productivity. That adds to the value to this software. The tool which Juhi has described is actually not for policing. It is more so for improving employee productivity by self, and that's where it helps, because you will know where exactly you are spending unproductive time. And if you know your own mistake, then of course that's the best improvement. So take this as a tool which will enhance your own productivity, and it will be benefit to organization as well as to you as yourself. So I think if there are no more questions, we will wind up this session. I request. Thanks very much, Juhi and Kamal, and I'll ask Anil to kindly say word of thanks. Anil, over to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, Juhi.
Yeah, thank you so much for giving into it. And I just would like to add one thing here. We, as a Dextrack, is enabled for the trial periods. We can enable the trial period if you want, and you can easily get onto the reports on your own. And another way to get onto the live reporting is if you visit the website dextrack.timeandtask.com, there is a tour section here. If you click on this, you will get onto the live reports.
So thanks for that info. And if any of you has further queries, I've posted my email ID and contact number and WhatsApp number to you. You can very well reach out to us, and we can then connect with Juhi and team to give you a one-on-one proof of concept demo as well. So do reach out to us and let us know for your further queries and your further requirement on this. So Anil, over to you.
Thank you to all for joining this session. Any queries, please contact us. Sir, all I have problem also.
Okay, then. Thank you all. Thanks very much, and thanks Juhi and team for your valuable time for this demo. And thank you all for attending this session and taking out your precious time to attend this. Please do reach out to us. We have our website. There also you can put queries, www.etsac.in, and the contact details I mentioned. Our Anil will also be in touch with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Karachi. Thank you for this good webinar.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Good day.